Could inflation be gold's saving grace? We're seeing rising inflation as markets gear up for the next Fed meeting and ahead of the holiday season in December. Could this pave the way for higher gold prices? Joining us today is Frank Holmes, CEO of U.S. Global Investors. Frank, thanks for being back on with us.
It's great to be with you.
So, Frank, inflation's on the rise. The Labor Department's data recently showed that CPI recorded its biggest increase in 6 months in October. What's your take on inflation here, Frank?
Well, I think that's another reason for rates rising in December, on December the 14th. That's a 98% assured. And the big issue is, can they keep rates rising fast enough to keep up with the inflation? And I think the market will tell you that, and that would be the savior for gold, because last year, this time, there was a negative rate of return, then it went positive, then it went negative in a large way, and now we're getting back. It's like measuring inches on a football field rather than feet, that the real rate of return is almost positive on a 10-year government bond. And once it goes positive, then gold would fall back to where it was a year ago.
Right, love the analogy, Frank. So the question is the recent inflation data enough now to pave the way for a Fed rate hike in December?
No, I don't think it's enough. I think we have to see what the numbers are going to come out in December or November, and I think that would be more telling.
Okay, I'm surprised. All right. Well, do you think, like many are now saying, that Trump will push consumer prices higher with his infrastructure spending plans? Do you agree with this?
Oh, yeah. There's no doubt that we're going to see inflation across the economy, but it's going to be different inflation. It's not going to be regulatory inflation. It's going to be job income. It's going to be job products and things of that nature type of inflation. So it will be a different way of how we feel it.
And Frank, you mentioned now that CPI seems to be climbing back, it could be good news for gold. Where do you see gold prices headed here? We're speaking on a day that gold's at a 6-month low right now.
Yeah, well, gold could go back to where it was this time last year, and that's the real sad reality until we get into the new year. So I think that's just the reality, and we're seeing that a lot of people redeeming out of the gold GLD, and we're seeing that people going into only high profit margin gold stocks. So there is a rotation in the capital markets.
All right, Frank, and before I let you go, it's a shorter trading week, but what's your touchdown pass going to be?
Well, there's two things this week. It's interesting, like football on Thursday for American Thanksgiving. There is PMIs coming out on Wednesday, and so the Fed minutes. So the Fed minutes are going to be much more reflective for that short-term pain, but looking down the road, because PMI is a forecast of economic activity. If you're looking for inflation to come in 6 months, if the PMI remains strong, then that means inflation is going to pick up in the new year.
All right, Frank. Well, thank you so much, and happy Thanksgiving from one Canadian to another.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching. We'll see you tomorrow.